we're back. Let's go. We are on Do Not Disturb. I'm wearing a top that looks like it's got a stain on it, but you can't see it. Yeah. Living life like... living life. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the show. Today, I feel is going to be a slightly shorter episode because I've recently really struggled to find enough time and headspace to enter my cupboard to record another podcast episode. So here I am. I've missed you. Oh, I've missed this thing, and I'm glad you're here. If you're back, if it's your first time, then please do make sure to subscribe or follow, whatever you do on the thing that you're listening wherever you're listening. And let's get right into it. Yesterday I was supposed to have a knee reconstruction operation. I need my ACL redoing, which is the anterior cruciate ligament in my knee, and also my meniscus is fucked, so it's torn, it's floating around, I don't know, it's not how it should be, so that should be fixed as well. I turned up at the hospital having had pretty much a mental breakdown about a week beforehand, just being so sad that I won't be able to live my life normally for a while, not really having a full understanding of the recovery process, and just the unclarity of how things are going to be, what I'm going to be like, what I'm going to feel like. I just lead quite an active lifestyle, and so it's going to be a big difference when I'm having to recover from an operation. But long story short, it didn't happen yesterday. I turned up to the hospital and had chats with all the staff, filled in forms. I was told about all the risks and, ultimately how I might die when I'm under general anesthetic. Obviously a very unlikely event, but still it made me reflect on life a lot before this thing. So about a week beforehand, I had a little birthday celebration amongst friends, and at the end of it, I just, I had a fantastic time, really, really nice friends, but I just had a meltdown, really. I was like, I'm so scared, like genuinely scared, kind of for my life, but more to do with like my mental health, sort of psychological well-being, because like I said, it's such a big difference. But the reason the operation didn't go ahead is at the end of these chats, which lasted for about, I don't know, an hour, maybe an hour and a half, of different people coming in, queuing in to ask me questions and having me fill in forms and stuff. The consultant came in and, he'd been told that I've got a scrape on my knee, which I sustained 2 days prior when I was skating, and it's just a superficial wound. If you're watching on YouTube, which this might go on at some point, I've been recording all of these, but I haven't actually released them sort of publicly, but they might be on my YouTube channel at some point. I have a superficial scrape on my knee that if you're watching, you will see. If you're just listening, it's not bad. It's just lovely. But the surgeon wasn't happy to go ahead just because of the increased chance of an infection. And he told me this story about an Australian girl who he very kindly said was of a similar age to mine, where she'd had an operation done and got an infection through the cut that she'd had on her knee, which then meant that they had to undo the ACL reconstruction work, and she ended up with a knee replacement, and that got infected too. And ultimately, at the end of it, she had to have her leg amputated. So at the same time as I was absolutely devastated to start with, I cried straight away. Oh my God, it was just such a blow. I was so prepared. I was so ready for it. I was like, really? I was crying because I was like, I feel like such a fucking dick. I've let myself down. I've let the NHS down. I feel like I'm wasting, the NHS's resources by turning up and not being ready for an operation. If I'd known that this is going to stop me from having the operation, of course I wouldn't have skated like that on Saturday. I was really going for it because I was like, this is my last skate before my operation, before I won't be able to skate for months, you know, maybe even up to a year. But like I'm banking on sort of 6 months until I get back into skating. So I wouldn't even describe it as a fall, really. It was just a little blunder. And then I was just, you know, all the arrangements that I'd made with, you know, friends coming around to look after me, the kids being looked after, and just, you know, sorting out lifts to and from the hospital, and I just felt like such a fucking burden to everyone around me for a brief while. But it's funny, I could have called someone to come and pick me up from the hospital, but it takes me about an hour to get there on public transport, and I just, bless them, they were giving me toast and jam and butter and tea. Tea or coffee. I took coffee before I left because they're like, no, darling, you just this is the right thing to do. You're going to be spending a lot more of our resources if we take you in now and it does get infected, and then things are potentially going to be a lot worse. So it's better if you just go home now. We'll have you in again in about a month's time, and we'll get it sorted then. So of course then I'm going to be fucking wrapping myself in bubble wrap to make sure that I'll be absolutely 1000% ready for the operation. But I got home, so I basically just ended up taking the bus back home, which is 2 separate buses, because I just wanted to put my noise cancelling headphones on, ignore the world, really ruminate on all the feelings that I was going through and you know, thoughts. And so many people knew that I was going to have this operation, that I was getting messages, you know, from the previous day and the same day just saying good luck and let me know how it goes. And I'm just like, well, fuck, like, you asked me how it's gone, you know. I'd rather respond rather than remember who I need to message. People are going to find out anyway. And then I was like, I can't take this. I don't want to start messaging. So I basically just wrote one generic message to say, you know, operation is being postponed because I have a cut on my knee, and I'm going to take the bus home now to process everything. And by the time I got home, it was a really nice, slightly cold bus ride. I just withdrew to my bedroom and read a book for a while, for maybe about an hour. A book called To Kill a Mockingbird, I think. To Kill a Mockingbird. Classic, I've never read before. Which is part of our book club. We've created a book club. We have a book club. So this month's book is To Kill a Mockingbird. It wasn't my choice, but I'm more than happy to read something that somebody else has recommended, of course. And then I'd had a full night's sleep, but I just thought I really want a nap now. I'd cried out everything I had. I had no tears left, and I had about, you know, over an hour of sleep, and woke up, and I just felt like a newborn in a way. Which might feel a bit ridiculous to say, but it actually isn't. It really, really made me realise how much of a fucking powerful tool crying is. And I know a lot of adults, like, people don't cry anymore when they're adults. And I think it is their healthiest. And I know I used to battle with these feelings of, I shouldn't cry in public, it's embarrassing, it's whatever. It absolutely isn't. And being able to encounter feelings as and when they come is one of the biggest strengths I feel like I have as a person, because that means that nothing's held up on the inside, nothing gets bottled up. And I can't believe, literally, within 2 hours of leaving the hospital and being in absolute fucking bits, I just couldn't. People came to check up on me, and I just couldn't say anything without crying. I'm just so disappointed in the whole situation, and I was so ready, and I make myself believe that I'm really excited for the operation because it's neurologically a, you know, very similar brain chemistry situation than being nervous is. So I'm like, no, I know I'm, you know, logically, yes, I am nervous. But I'm like, no, that's not what I'm going to think, because a much more positive thing to think is that I'm just excited. This is exactly what it feels like before you get on stage and you're fucking shitting your pants. I'm like, yeah, I can't fucking wait. Yeah, great. And then like today, I've been thinking about how tragic it is that people don't cry more. And I genuinely, really, genuinely mean that. And I've seen it in so many instances, say, like at work, when I've been seeing my PT clients, when they've got something going on, you can just tell they are a shell of themselves. And I'm just like, do you know what? This is a safe space. Like, if you can feel any emotions, and sometimes people break out crying, and it's so beautiful. Because you can just see how that pain comes out with those tears. And what I was thinking today is that obviously children cry a lot because they don't have that fucking damage from the world where they judge themselves, where they're thinking about how other people perceive them. They experience their emotions, their feelings as and when they come, and they process them, and guess what? They get through them. Exactly because of that. And even better if there's somebody who is there to support you, to validate your feelings, to say like, it's all right, which is exactly what I got from the hospital staff. They're not there to be mental health fucking personnel, but at the same time, just that somebody's there and somebody's just saying, you know, I hear you, like, don't put yourself down. And I knew, like, I can sort this situation out myself on my own if I need to. But just doing it in front of people and just not being scared of letting go, and not being scared of... It's not even about showing what you're feeling. It's just for yourself, for your sake, feeling what you're feeling there and then. I 2 hours, and I felt ready to come out of my bedroom and be like, do you know what? It is what it is. And it's not going to change anything if I keep dwelling on it. So I might as well now, just bit by bit. I was like, do you know what? This is a bit like a new sort of start, but in a different way than I anticipated. And I was like, maybe I can take this time that I was banking on having this time to really recover, look after myself and stuff, and I can still do the same. I just don't have a knee that's been operated on yet. And it's just craziness. I think a big part of the emotional process was that, oh my God, like only in the same week, so seriously days before my operation, oh my God, I went inline skating, so rollerblading, skating twice. I think I did hours in total, like more than 3 hours in total. I went to gymnastics training, had an amazing time with friends doing partner acrobatics, some handstand training. I've been doing handstands nearly every day, not that much anymore actually, but I need to get back into it more. I travelled down to the beachfront. I took my pennyboard, which is like a soft-wheeled skateboard type of solution, and I was rolling on the streets there to just really... I was vibing with like the way the movement feels, because I won't be able to do it for months, and just being like, oh my God, I love this so much. And I can't even comprehend people who don't use their bodies and move around in ways that we were meant to move. And it's like, at the same, it's so liberating. You get fucking fresh air onto your face. It makes you feel energized. It makes you feel as part of nature. It makes you feel like, oh my God, I'm developing as a human being, as an adult. I'm actually moving, creating more balance within myself, both physiologically and emotionally. And it's just so rewarding. So it's like, do you know what? I love this, and I just want to remember this vibe. Even when I'm not able to do that stuff, I can be happy that I was able to do that stuff before, and I will be able to do that stuff again when I've been good and really rehabbed as well as I possibly can. I'm going to be fucking rock and roll with it. I'm determined as ever, and I've been really good with my rehab. I will be really fucking good after the operation. I just need to wait for a few more weeks until I have my operation done again. What else? Oh my God, I went to the gym to do some rehabbing they've got these amazing monkey bars, super long monkey bars. I did them. I went for a swim, and I went for a sauna. I did the ice bath, and at the gym as well. It's just the most amazing. Literally, I only now realized that it's a proper Finnish sauna, Finnish sauna, and the brand of the kiuas. What's kiuas called? The stove thing that, you know, you throw the water onto it. The brand is Harvia, which is so Finnish. Oh my God, it's amazing. So basically I was just ridiculously, like, nearly overtrained at the end of the week. And it felt so good because I was like, now I will have a chance to relax. So now I'm actually like slightly struggling because I can do stuff again because I haven't had my operation. But right now I need to listen to my body and actually just be still and focus on, I've got a ton of admin that I had booked to do anyway when I was recovering. And funny enough, I can actually be better prepared for my operation in about a month's time, because I was supposed to have my operation yesterday and I was supposed to be discharged on the same day. And then I looked at my diary when I got home. I was like, fucking hell, I'm engaged with work, a school performance, and all these things until 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, what if I was off my face on painkillers and everything and I was unable to move and stuff? Why have I made myself a schedule like this where I've got no time for myself? I would have just had yesterday. So I think when my operation actually is coming around, I'm going to make sure that the following day my diary is empty. I want to just actually chill the fuck out, which is what I need to do. Like, the amount of activities I've done, oh my God. And also, so proud of myself, you know. I managed to drop my resting heart rate to, now I don't remember. I think it's been down to 43 beats per minute, which is very low. And obviously, you know, that's not very normal. That's just because I've been relatively active my entire adult life. Well, not all of it, not when I was in the first year of uni, but you know, for the past 10 years more or less, I just do stuff that I really enjoy doing. And it's crazy how I just really focused on eating really well and, you know, drinking lots of water and just being, you know, doing some breath work and being as healthy as I can. And I think my HRV, which is the heart rate variability, has gone up to, what was it, like 170, 180 today at some point, which is ridiculously high. Like, it's fucking unbelievable. So, like, if you've got a smartwatch or something, you can, please don't make it. I used to have it as quite an obsessive habit, but I do track these things. I try not to be obsessive about it, but something like sleep quality, you know, so important to sleep enough. The most important thing. That I suppose is my number one tip for you now, if I can give you any advice from experience, is try and cry more. If you don't feel comfortable doing it in front of people, then get yourself to a vulnerable state in your house and just sit with your thoughts. Stop taking the distractions out, like mobile phones. Just chuck them the fuck out. Put it in a box. Spend some time with yourself and your thoughts and your emotions. And it's crying. Crying is so liberating. It's so... It's just, it's such a gift, and it is more like being a child. And if we can get to a state where we are more like children and have no rigid worldviews that are unchangeable, if we're always willing to change our minds, always willing to be playful and creative, think of new ways of doing things, thinking of new routes to take, it's literally like, life is so rewarding. Life is so beautiful, and I can't. Do you know what? Okay, so another thing that I sort of thought of is, before my operation, it kind of felt like the end of the world for me. I was thinking, if I was about to die, if I knew I was about to die, I'd then maybe, I was going to say, spend more time just talking to people who I care about. But actually, having done sports that with people that are just really nice, maybe that's even better in a way, because there's no pressure to talk about anything in specific. So for me, it was a bit like that current world coming to an end, because I'm not able to live my normal lifestyle. And I was living my life to the absolute fullest. And I'm just thinking, at the end of it, why do I not always live like this? And I know already some friends just say they feel exhausted about me telling them about my day and stuff, but I'm not in a hurry. I just live, and I'm not sure how much more I can actually stick into my diary, but if I managed it last week and still managed full night's sleeps, and fucking hell, just, you need to do stuff. We need to do stuff. Oh, what should we go for? Okay. Something, if I can, okay, second section. Again, I had a conversation with a new-ish client, and I wanted to just make sure that all of my friends are aware that the only way to achieve weight loss, train more, use your muscles. That'll boost your metabolism and make sure you maintain your lean muscle mass and lose fat at the same time. But let's just say the only way you can lose weight, the only way, is to be in a calorie deficit. That's the only way. So I don't care what bullshit you're feeding yourself or to people around you. If you are not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight. So if you have negative calories during the week and then do an absolute blowout at the end of the week, as in, eat more than what your body burns, and like go really excessive with that, I'm not going to break this down any more than I just want every single one of my friends to understand that you can only lose weight if you're in a calorie deficit. That's the only way. Stop thinking about what you need to eat. To begin with, let's just fix. If you're bothered about your body weight not being where you'd like it to be, if you want it to be lower, you need to be in a calorie deficit. If you want it to be higher, you need to be in a calorie surplus. And to help you do this, I know it can be a bit strenuous to start with, but use an app like MyFitnessPal and log every motherfucking thing that goes down your throat. Nice, yeah, everything. Everything that contains calories, not necessarily water. Don't need to. That's as simple as it can go. And yeah, I'm sick of hearing like, no. But what if I like drop all my fucking carbs? No. Why? Tell me why. Yes, if carbs make you feel like shit. If you've got gluten intolerance, yeah, why not? Do whatever. And stop lying to yourself about what you're eating, how often you're eating. You can have one meal a day, or you can have 7 meals a day. Doesn't matter, as long as your calories are where you want them to be. You'll only maintain weight at your maintenance calories. Yeah, there we go. Then I had a question from the public. What does it say? Something to do with, how do you balance work and personal life? Okay. I cannot complain about my work-life balance because I am self-employed and I, pretty much get to choose my hours. I do have 2 kids as well, which, take up a lot of my time. But work-life balance, I think the main thing is that no matter how many hours of work you do in a week, that outside of those work hours, you design your life in a way that brings you a step closer to a happier state, or just a content state. Nobody can ever be happy all the time, and that is the salt of life. It's very important to have ups and downs. It's the essence of everything. But if you want to make sure that you don't end up a bitter cunt when you're older, then I know it's sometimes, especially if you're feeling depressed or whatever, it's really difficult to get things started. So start with little things that are totally manageable, totally doable, but do things that give you satisfaction. And I would also say that, if you really like playing video games, spending all your spare time playing video games is, that's all right if that's what you really enjoy doing. Do it. I actually, especially over lockdown, really envied people who can sit down and play video games for hours. And I tried to get my head into a place where I wanted to try that, and I just can't sit still for long enough. But I didn't find the motivation or whatever to do that. But just the way you'll not be happy is if you're just living to work. You need to work to live. You don't need to do something every day, but if with your spare time, make sure you get something in. If it includes being outdoors, spending time with people you care about, or just spend time amongst people. Even if you're the most introverted person, push yourself to do something slightly uncomfortable. Do something active, physically active. Develop yourself in any way, but make sure you find something that interests you and exactly you. You don't need to take up a reading habit. If you don't enjoy reading, don't do it. Find a little thing that you really enjoy, or maybe it could just be being in the house and calling a friend for 5 minutes. Maybe it could even be sending them a voice note or just sending them a message. Just don't get into the trap of not doing anything with your spare time. And I really struggle sometimes. So I regularly speak with a few people who, if I ask them what they've been up to, and their answer is like, oh, nothing really. What does that mean? I'm really struggling to understand whether this is a matter of them being a far less open person than I am, or if they're actually doing nothing. I can't get my head around it. And I think it's like, there's also a nuance in that, say, if somebody asks me what I've done during the day, I can give you a story. I'll be like, oh my God, like in the morning, I was like making a cup of tea, and then I forgot I was making a cup of tea, and I just went, and then the water went cold, and I was like, I went to have a shower, and I was like, I've put some music on, and I was listening to this, like, I really enjoyed this song, I put the song on, I was singing, I was shaving my legs, and I was like, oh God, now I've got a cut, I best not get a fucking shaving cut before my operation. And I'll just go into detail, like, oh my God, it was so exciting to do my laundry, like it was a bit too windy when I was hanging it up to dry, and it's these things. And I've tried to understand what it is between me and other people who say that they've done nothing. Because even if I've done the most mundane things in the house, not left the house, not communicated with anyone, I would still feel like I've got a lot done, because the only way I'd get nothing done is if I was sleeping. But then I'd still say, you know what, I felt really tired, I was napping. So I'd still have a story. And I just want to hear people talk more. I crave it. And I know sometimes, like, but what I find, I don't mind if somebody is not, like, doesn't want to tell me much, doesn't want to share. Absolutely fine. But if they're like a good friend, they don't give me any information or details, it's like, where's the I want two sides to this interaction. You know what I mean? Like, it's slightly frustrating for me, because I don't want to ask too many questions. Or sometimes I do try and dig, and I know that can make some people, especially if I don't know them very well, that can make them feel uncomfortable. I'm like, well, what do you mean you haven't done anything? Like, what have you actually done? Oh, nothing really. Well, no. You must have opened the fridge door. Tell me something. I would like go into details about every motherfucking little thing that I've done. Like, I changed the location of my plants today. I've been starting to grow these things, and you should see the things that are growing. It's unbelievable. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I kind of I think if you learn to really enjoy is the wrong word. Mindful gets thrown about too much. But if you focus on what you're doing in life, whether it's just doing the laundry or walking up and down the stairs, like, vibe with how your body is reacting, what your body is doing, how your muscles are contracting, how if you bend over, if your lower back's niggling, that's a sign of something. Like, your body is sending you so many signals. I'm such a hippie. That it's like, it just, again, increases the amount of life that you've lived when you pay attention. Maybe that's it. Just pay attention. Because sometimes I feel like I'm hyper vigilant. Sometimes I don't notice things like somebody's had a haircut, and I might just go, I think they look a bit different, but I don't know why or how, so I must not just mention it at all. And I'm like, oh, do you like my clothes? I'm like, are they clothes? Yes. I mean, I don't have an opinion. And so, I think some people might think I'm being rude, but I'm not. I just genuinely don't have an opinion. They're clothes. I hope they keep you warm. I hope they make you feel comfortable. That's all I care about. I don't care about what you're actually wearing. Well, I do in some occasions, you know. I wouldn't go to a fancy club with a scruffer. But, you know. I think this is about it. Again, this is one of the most wonderful things. I'm gonna go and, I've got my second therapy session this week. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to my operation, which is in about a month's time. I'll certainly be doing another podcast before then. I am just about to order an office chair, like an ergonomic one, which is going to help surely with my recovery. And my, oh God, here I am speaking completely hunched over. Need to focus on my back health, need to focus on all the rehab and stuff. But thanks for popping in. Thanks for being a friend. There's a bit of was it a ranty one? I don't know. I feel refreshed. Make sure you subscribe or follow, wherever you're listening. And if you, just share this episode with one friend. I'd really, really appreciate it. I think it took me ages to get into podcasts because I was listening to them at normal speed and I couldn't get into them. I was too distracted. I wasn't listening to what was being said. And I found my sweet spot, which is listening to podcasts at 1.5 speed. That's my sweet spot. So I just feel like this is such a great medium to help people connect. So if you want to connect, then you can ask me a question. Yeah, send me a question, any question, anonymous question, whatever question, to hello@erikahelsinki.com, and I shall speak to you soon again. Also, you can. I'm trying to. Do you know what? Oh, here we go. Here's Erika ending things again. I would really like to share more on Instagram in terms of stories, because I really enjoy when people share more, but not in a fake way. Does that make sense? I just want to really make sure it's authentic. But I have insecurities in terms of how I look, or I don't want it to be fake. So I have my reservations. And again, it's a really fine balance on what's genuine and what's not, because I would never want to go into the territory of being fake. And it's a tricky one. I especially worry about internet couples, because you can see through them sometimes. When I'm sorry, but how much of a real relationship, loving romantic relationship, is it if one or both of the parties in that relationship are just concerned about creating content? So it's that kind of balance. I feel like I want to always have my freedom to completely disappear off the face of the planet. Is that how you say it? Is that how you say it? And also sometimes I'm just super active. The choice is mine, and I will keep it that way. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and speak to you next time. Woohoo! Aww, I ended up 33 minutes 30 seconds. I want it to be 33. That'll do. Right, this time I'm not going to forget about you. What time's it? Hey, I'm expecting a call in half an hour. It's going to be great. My belly hurts. I need food. Okay, I'm going to go and eat. Bye-bye. Until next time. Bye.